All right, guys, welcome back to the Frugal Homestead. And today we're going to do a tiny house update. But before we get started with that, we have to talk about something. So most of you will remember we lost our pretty girl Molly about last year sometime. And, being that she was 13 years old and Apollo was 14, we knew that we were on borrowed time. And sadly, I have to let you guys know that we had to let go of Apollo. He had some pretty intense breathing problems, and we ended up taking him into the vet, and we got some x-rays done. They tried him on antibiotics and steroids for a period of time, but when the x-rays came back and all the scans came back, his lungs were literally just white. I mean, just completely white, and he was struggling to breathe. His oxygen level in his blood was not good. So we had to do what was best for him so he didn't suffer. Now, that said, he now resides next to Molly down here in the tiny house. So he gets to be back with his woman. And also, in that last time we had, we felt like he really was there for us to help us deal with the passing of Molly. But in that time, he also got to go on some great adventures. Apollo got to go all the way out to Iowa and back on a road trip, as well as go on a full-blown winter camping trip with us and our friends. So I really think that he got to live an excellent end of life compared to most dogs that end up having to have a rougher time the last bit of their life. So I'm really glad we got the opportunity to kind of celebrate the end of his life that way. But I know many of you remember him from the videos and have mentioned him before, and I just thought that even though our family here knows, that I should share with you, our online family, that he has passed away and won't be in any more videos. But let's get to some good things going on in life, because there's been many changes to the tiny house. Let me show you. So the first thing I need to show you is outside. It's out here in the water building. And as you can see throughout this video today, you're going to find that I am not cleaning up to do this video because everything's a mess because I'm working on everything. But we have the electric run out here. We still got to get our plug covers on and tie back wires, but we have electric. All right. And we have from the water tank plumbed in. This is a micro pump, a C-Flow. I don't know that it's going to be strong enough to run the house, but we're going to try it, see what happens. Everything's run into the house from this point. So water and electric, other than the covers and pinning the wire back, done in the water building. I think it's definitely finished up here. I got a lot of cleaning up to do. And obviously we have to cut the hole to allow the rainwater in and put the filtration bucket in. And then this will fill up with water off the gutters. So let's go inside so I can show you all the other stuff we did. All right, like I said, I didn't clean up, guys. You're gonna see it the way it is. So we have all the parts, board, pole, to do the closet racking upstairs. All this has to be sanded and clear coated before it can even go up there to be mounted. I obviously have the batteries here, and I have all the wood here in order to make the bench to clean up all this solar mess. And the concrete is for out here. We need a pad there because it's pulling gravel in every time we walk in. Now Missy has been busy, and I know it's not coming out in this early morning sunlight, but she has been clear coating like crazy. All that has been clear coated. Poor girl is stretching on a ladder to get it done. But it's going to take multiple coats, because anybody who's ever clear coated anything knows that handrails, stairs, when you clear coat them, it gets such a high wear pattern, you have to do it multiple times to build up the surface. But she has been down here working on it consistently. And I think she probably has 1 or 2 more coats, and she should have it done. Now, as we move into the kitchen, I need to put the air conditioner back in the window. You can see that I've been doing some filming down here. But if you look up here, my wife has been going to those painting classes where they drink a little wine and do some painting. So now every time she gets one done, we're going to put it in these spaces and then rotate them out as she does them, because we have those spaces over here as well that we can put them in. So that's a pretty cool thing. She gets to go out with girls or daughter-in-laws and go paint these pictures, have a good time doing it, and then be able to come home and display them, which I think is really cool. Now, one of the things that we've been working on is clear coating. So Missy has got all this clear coated, but when I did the wiring that goes out to the building, I also installed her an outlet here. And having an outlet on the bar means she can use this surface as like a cooktop and just plug in right there. She actually is in love with the fact that she has this now. But let's show you the big work that's been done. So all this has been tightened up. We got the actual drains in. And then you go under here, and you can see that I've got all the drains hooked up. I've got the plumbing all hooked up, run to the hot water heater. We have the holes already drilled for the power for the hot water heater to get back here. I just got to get the right extension cord for it. But all in all, everything's hooked up and ready to go. All the water lines, everything's connected in and ready to go. Now, when we whip around and go into the bathroom here, which this fan kicks on, so it's going to be loud, everything's hooked up and tight. We've got our main line coming in, and then it splits off to the shower, and then it splits off to the sink. And the sink is out of an actual camper, so it has a clear line going down into the actual plumbing out. It's just the kind of sink it is. It can't take a standard setup. But overall, the plumbing's done in here too. Now I do have to still build a box for our bucket toilet in there, which I don't think is going to be that hard. I'll make it the same day I do the chest, like bench thing for the solar batteries, and just get it all done at once. Then Missy can clear coat it and I can put it in there. But with all that said, I'm going to cut all the pieces at the same time for the closet stuff upstairs, get it all sanded. That way she's not wasting her time, because she can clear coat all those items and put another coat on the stairs. So I'm just waiting for a decent temperature day when we're not busy to get all that done. That's the only reason that hasn't been done already. Now, we have done some other smaller things that are not yet complete. Like I did some electric work under here, some electric work out back, as far as running cords, cables and stuff. But what we have realized is we don't have any real storage for our stuff. So we're looking at maybe building a very small like shed just to store tools, mowers, weed eaters, stuff like that. So that's probably going to be on the upcoming list. But right now I want to take you upstairs and show you what we got going on up there. So as we head upstairs here, you can see that we brought some things down. So we got the couch you guys have seen before, brought down a chair. Now, I've been cleaning out this area back here because that's where the closet bar is going to go. So hopefully by next video you'll see that. But looky there, the bed's all set up. We're getting ready to spend a night down here. Really, I think the build we did was absolutely amazing. I think it's going to be perfect. The dust ruffle Missy bought to hide the storage under the bed is really nice. So I think for our needs, this came out perfect. The only thing I'm going to say is back there at the head of the bed, I'm going to screw a little board to sit there. That way we can put our tablet there and plug it in. And that's what I use at night when I'm like watching TV before I go to bed. But speaking of TVs, we got a new one. Now, this was on sale. It was actually clearanced at Best Buy. It's a TCL 4K TV. It's got Android operating system on it, and I think we paid $219 for it. I wasn't really in the market to get another TV, but it just kind of was there, and it had the operating system I wanted on it, so it just kind of fit the picture of what we were doing. But because we are already upgrading technology a little bit, if you watched our previous video about our home internet and how we use Mocha to bring it down here, we now got a new router. Now this TP-Link is a Wi-Fi 6, but it has the ability to have TOS. So basically, we can control the terms of service, like the throughput. So what I have it set up right now to do is the TV gets unlimited speed. Anybody else on the network, when the TV's streaming, gets secondary. So let's say I have all the kids over here and grandkids and they're all using internet. It's not going to affect the pay-per-view or the event that we're watching or the show we're watching. It's not going to make the TV buffer, which is an amazing feature to have. And this thing's fast. And amazingly enough, this entire house is built out of metal all the way around. So I can still be outside and pick this up and it has usable signal. So far as to be up on the next property and still get a little bit of signal. So yes, things are moving along. In fact, we're about to put some water in the tank and do a leak test. Now, there's a very good chance we could find a leak, and we'll deal with that if we do. But our life has changed. We don't have either one of our fur babies anymore, and we don't plan on getting any more right now. I don't think it's fair to get another animal right now and bring it into our family and then us be in the phase of our life we are now to where we want to kind of be going out and doing things, and I don't want to have to find sitters or people to come over, or, you know, if I'm going to be in a phase of my life where I want to have more babies at home, I want to be at home with them. So I just think it's not fair to go running out and grab an animal. Plus, you're not going to replace those two. No animal we go get right now is going to replace Apollo and Molly. They are their own family members of this family. And it's like, you can't just go replace a grandpa or a grandma when they pass away. So you can't, the way they were in our hearts and our minds, they couldn't be replaced like that. But I feel like they're still here with us in their own little way. And we can sit down there and think about them and kind of have our time with them. But at the same time, the tiny house has to go on, has to get finished. I feel like we're making good movement. Getting ready to spend the night down here is like kind of exciting for us. I know it seems stupid, but I think that's going to motivate us even more once we do it. So that's kind of the next thing on the list. Spend a night down here, get the water test tested, get everything so it's not leaking and working, and then we can start seriously moving in. We have started bringing some things down, this little mini desk, a couple other little things, just to get it to the point where we can start getting things out of the main house up there. So you definitely want to be subscribed because we will be getting this place done and moving in very soon. And then you're going to get a real world look like what it is to live in a tiny house, because it's definitely going to be different. And we will let you guys know the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I'm sure there's going to be some of each. But with that said, I do appreciate you guys watching. If you watched this point, please go down in the comments and put Apollo. That lets us know you watched the whole video. I appreciate you listening to me kind of vent, because it's also therapeutic for me to be able to share with you guys what I'm going through. And with that said, I will see you in the next one.